Have you ever promised yourself you'd be good all day, only to find a cookie practically calling your name after dinner? You're not alone. After 60, sugar cravings can feel louder, more insistent, and harder to shake. It's not because you're weak or lack willpower. It's your body sending signals, and with a few simple changes, you can turn those signals down and feel more in control. Today, we're talking about beating sugar cravings after 60 with 6 everyday habits that can help lower your A1C. If you've heard that term but aren't quite sure what it means, think of A1C as your 3-month report card for blood sugar. The steadier your days are, the better that number tends to look. And the best part? We're going to keep this practical and doable. No complicated plans or special products required. Let's start where cravings often begin, the morning. You might be surprised to hear this, but the most powerful habit to calm sugar cravings later in the day is what you eat within an hour or two of waking. As we age, our hormones change, muscle mass tends to shrink a bit, and our bodies become a little less efficient at handling quick sugars. If breakfast is mostly toast and jam, a bowl of cereal, or nothing at all, your blood sugar can rise fast and then crash a few hours later. When that crash hits, your brain starts begging for a quick fix. That's when the candy, the muffin, or the sugary coffee suddenly becomes irresistible. So here's habit 1. Build a protein and fiber breakfast that actually keeps you full. Think of it as giving your body a steady log on the fire instead of crumpled paper that flares up and burns out. What does that look like in real life? It could be scrambled eggs with a handful of spinach and some avocado on the side. It could be plain Greek yogurt topped with berries and a sprinkle of chia or flaxseed for fiber. If you love oatmeal, you don't have to give it up, just fortify it. Stir in cottage cheese or a scoop of plain protein powder. Add cinnamon for flavor. Then top with walnuts and a few blueberries. Prefer something savory and quick? A slice of whole grain toast piled with mashed beans and tomatoes works beautifully. The idea isn't to be perfect. It's to make sure you've got a real source of protein and some fiber right at the start. You might wonder how much protein is enough. A simple guideline is to aim for roughly a palm-sized portion, or about 25 to 30 grams, at breakfast. That amount helps older adults maintain muscle and keeps hunger hormones in check. Pair it with fiber, vegetables, berries, chia seeds, ground flax, beans, or a small portion of whole grains, and you're creating a slow, steady release of energy that can reduce the desire for sweet snacks later. Add a little healthy fat, like nuts or olive oil, and you build a meal that fights cravings for you. If mornings are busy or appetite is low, keep it easy. A blender can be your friend. Half a frozen banana, a cup of Greek yogurt or a scoop of protein powder, a handful of spinach, a spoon of nut butter, and water or unsweetened milk makes a creamy breakfast that feels like a treat without sending your blood sugar on a roller coaster. Smoothies are also a good place to add a tablespoon of ground flaxseed for extra fiber. If you don't do dairy, you can use tofu, pea protein powder, or a hearty helping of beans left over from dinner. The point is to start the day telling your body, you're fed, you're safe, you're steady. When your body believes that, cravings lose their grip. Now, let's talk about something that sounds almost too simple to matter, but makes a huge difference: hydration. After 60, our thirst signal often goes quiet. We can be mildly dehydrated and not feel thirsty at all. And one of the most common ways our brains misinterpret dehydration is by asking for sugar. The afternoon slump where you find yourself wandering into the kitchen? Sometimes it's not hunger, it's thirst or a mineral imbalance whispering, "Get me something fast." Here's habit 2. Drink water consistently, and consider adding a little mineral support from real food. Start with a glass of water. When you wake up, keep a bottle nearby and sip through the day. If plain water is boring, squeeze in lemon or lime, toss in a few cucumber slices, or brew herbal tea. Sparkling water with a splash of unsweetened cranberry or a drop of vanilla can scratch that soda itch without the sugar. Try having a full glass of water before you reach for a sweet snack. Give it 10 minutes and see if the craving fades. You'll be surprised how often it does. Minerals help your body use insulin more efficiently and can calm that jittery craving feeling. You don't need to run out and buy supplements if you don't want to. You can eat your minerals. Magnesium is a big one for sugar cravings, and you'll find it in foods like pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, black beans, and dark chocolate with a high cocoa content. That's right. An ounce of 85% dark chocolate after lunch can be both satisfying and supportive, especially if you pair it with a few nuts. Potassium and sodium matter too, particularly if you take diuretics or sweat a lot during exercise. A pinch of sea salt in your water, a bowl of broth, or foods like avocado, tomatoes, and leafy greens can help. If you're thinking about magnesium tablets or other supplements, that's fine, but run it by your doctor or pharmacist to make sure it plays nicely with your medications. There's also a timing trick that blends both hydration and appetite control. Have a glass of water or unsweetened tea about 15 to 20 minutes before meals. It's a gentle way to help your stomach and brain communicate, so you feel satisfied with a sensible portion and don't end up prowling for dessert after you put down your fork. If reflux or medications make drinking near meals uncomfortable, spread your fluids between meals and find a pattern that feels best to your body. You might be wondering how water and minerals could possibly affect something like A1C. Remember, A1C reflects your average blood sugar over a few months. When you stay hydrated, your blood is less concentrated, and your body moves glucose into cells more smoothly. When you give your muscles and nerves the minerals they need, your insulin works more effectively. That means fewer dramatic highs and lows, and a calmer appetite signal. Over time, that steadiness shows up in the A1C number. If mornings are when cravings strike, anchor both of these habits together. Breakfast with protein and fiber, plus a glass of water or tea, sets the tone for the whole day. If evenings are your danger zone, consider a pre-dinner glass of water, a colorful salad or vegetable soup for fiber, and then a meal that includes protein. You don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Start with one small step and let it become part of your routine. The goal isn't perfection. It's progress that you can live with. And if you lived through decades of diet advice and mixed messages, you might be thinking, here we go again. I hear you. These habits aren't about restriction. They're about feeding your body in a way that gives you freedom. When your brain isn't climbing the walls for sugar, you get your choices back. You enjoy treats on your terms instead of being at their mercy. That's a powerful shift at any age, and especially after 60. Keep picturing the kind of day you want. Steady energy, fewer cravings, and a sense of calm around food. You just put two strong building blocks in place with a breakfast that lasts and water that actually works for you. Hold on to that feeling, because there's another simple daily shift that makes sugar less tempting and helps your A1C drift in the right direction. And it fits right into the way you already eat. It's the way you build your plate and the order you eat it. That tiny shift can make a big dent in cravings. Picture your usual meal, maybe chicken, some vegetables, and a serving of rice or pasta. When you start with veggies and protein first, and save the starches and sweets for later, your blood sugar rises more gently. That gentle rise means your brain doesn't flip into, I need sugar now, mode an hour after you finish eating. If you like a little salad, splash on olive oil and a bit of vinegar and take a few bites before anything else. Then move to your protein, fish, chicken, beans, tofu, eggs, before you pick up your forkful of rice or bread. If dessert is part of the plan, a small portion is far kinder to your blood sugar when it comes last, not as a solo snack. The beautiful thing about this is you don't need a new cookbook to do it. Just eat what you love, in an order that works better with the way your body handles glucose after 60. Think about tacos. Load your plate with the fajita veggies. Scoop up some chicken or beans and take a few bites. Then enjoy the tortilla. Pasta night? Start with a side of roasted broccoli or a simple salad. Twirl up the meatballs or lentils next and finish with the pasta. Same ingredients, same comfort, different outcome for cravings. If you want a simple portion guide without measuring, use your hands. Aim for a palm-sized serving of protein, 2 open handfuls of non-starchy vegetables, and a cupped hand of starch like rice, pasta, potatoes, or fruit. Add a thumb of healthy fat, olive oil, nuts, avocado to help slow digestion. You'll likely feel more satisfied and less interested in chasing something sweet afterward. And if you're someone who enjoys bread at meals, try waiting until you've had some protein and veggies before you take that first bite. You'll be surprised how that one tweak shifts your appetite. There's a small, surprisingly effective extra you can add before starchy meals. A splash of vinegar. A teaspoon or 2 of apple cider or red wine vinegar mixed into water, or used as salad dressing, can blunt the post-meal sugar spike for many people. It's not magic, just a little nudge to your metabolism if you have reflux, dental sensitivity, or a history of stomach issues. Skip the vinegar or keep it in salad dressing form and rinse your mouth with plain water afterward. And as always, if you're on medication that affects your blood sugar, any change that alters your appetite or eating patterns is worth a quick check-in with your doctor. Now, let's bring your muscles into the story, because they're your best friends for steady blood sugar. After we eat, glucose wants to go somewhere. If your muscles are invited to the party, they soak it up. That's why a short stroll after meals can feel like flipping a switch on cravings. You don't need a power walk or special shoes. 10 minutes around the block, a gentle lap through the hallway, or even marching in place by the sink while the dishes soak can make a real difference. Many people notice that a small sweet that would normally send them hunting for more feels enough if they take a little movement break afterward. If the weather isn't friendly or walking isn't comfortable, you can still do it. Stand behind a sturdy chair and do slow heel raises for a minute or 2. Sit tall and do toe taps and knee lifts. Use a light resistance band to roll your elbows back while you're watching your favorite show. If you have a stationary bike or a simple pedal machine, 5 to 10 easy minutes after lunch and dinner is a wonderful habit. The goal isn't to sweat. It's to send your body a message. Use this fuel. Safety matters, especially if you take insulin or medications that can cause low blood sugar. If you notice dizziness, shakiness, or sweating during or after activity, pause and check your blood sugar if you monitor it. Keep a quick source of glucose nearby if your healthcare provider has advised you to. You might also ask your care team about the best timing for your meds relative to meals and movement. For most people, however, gentle post-meal activity is one of the simplest, most effective ways to tame both cravings and A1C. Evening is when cravings like to come knocking, and one big reason is fatigue. When you're short on sleep, your body churns out more of the hormones that make food, especially sweet food, feel irresistible. After 60, sleep can get trickier, aches, trips to the bathroom, early waking. But a few small tweaks can make nights more restful and days more steady. Start with light. Get some morning daylight on your face if you can, even through a window. Then, as evening comes, Turn down the brightness at home. Warm lamps, fewer overheads, and a dim setting on screens tell your body that sleep is on the horizon. Keep caffeine earlier in the day, and pay attention to anything that secretly revs you up at night, like late news or a phone that won't stop pinging. A simple bedtime routine, a warm shower, a soft playlist, gentle stretches, acts like a lullaby for your nervous system. If leg cramps or nighttime munchies wake you, try a small, protein-forward snack an hour or so before bed. Half a cup of cottage cheese with cinnamon, a few spoonfuls of unsweetened Greek yogurt with walnuts, or a slice of turkey roll with avocado can quiet hunger without spiking blood sugar. Herbal teas are lovely companions here. Cinnamon, chamomile, rooibos, or a decaf chai feel cozy and can take the edge off a sweet tooth. Stress also feeds cravings, and it's not just in your head. Stress hormones push your body to look for fast energy. That's why a tense phone call can end with your hand in the cookie jar, almost without noticing. Build yourself a calm-down shortcut you can use anywhere. Try this. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4, then breathe out through pursed lips for 8. Do that 5 times. The longer exhale switches on your rest and digest system and dials down urgency. Another trick is to ride the craving like a wave. Tell yourself, this will peak and pass in about 10 minutes. While you wait, make a cup of tea, step outside for a breath of fresh air, or text a friend. Cravings are like toddlers throwing a tantrum. If you don't give it immediately, they usually tire out. It also helps to keep satisfying, low-sugar choices within reach, so you're not at the mercy of whatever's in the pantry. Sweet tooth humming, a crisp apple with peanut butter, a few strawberries dipped in yogurt, or a square of very dark chocolate with almonds can hit the spot without starting a spiral. If ice cream is your siren song, try freezing a small portion of plain Greek yogurt mixed with a few berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Let it be simple and enjoyable. This isn't about punishment. It's about finding treats that treat you kindly back. One more quiet helper lives in your daily rhythm. Consistent meal times. Long gaps, especially when you're busy or distracted, can drop your blood sugar and flip on the craving switch. Try not to go more than 4 to 5 hours without something balanced. That might be 3 meals and 1 steady snack, or 2 meals and 2 snacks. Whatever suits your day and your appetite. Your body loves predictability. The steadier your rhythm, the calmer your cravings, and the smoother your A1C tends to look over time. Put these pieces together and you'll notice a theme. You're steadying the ship. You're asking, what would make my body feel safe and satisfied right now? Vegetables and protein first, starch and sweets later. A short stroll to invite your muscles to help. A calmer evening and a decent night's sleep to quiet the urgent voice that shouts for sugar. None of it requires perfection, just a little practice and a willingness to be kind to yourself. There's one more habit that ties everything together and keeps your blood sugar steady even when you're sitting still, and it's simpler than most people think. It's strength, the kind you build with simple, gentle resistance, so your muscles become better at soaking up sugar all day long. Think of your muscles as little sponges. The more you keep them active and a bit stronger, the more easily they pull sugar out of your blood and use it for energy, even when you're relaxing in your favorite chair. That means fewer spikes, fewer crashes, and a much quieter sweet tooth. Before you picture a gym full of clanking weights, let's make this friendly and doable at home. 2 or 3 brief sessions a week can make a real difference. You can do them in regular clothes, in your living room, and you don't have to break a sweat. If you've got joint replacements, arthritis, or balance concerns, keep a sturdy chair nearby and move slowly. Exhale on the effort. Avoid holding your breath. and stop if something feels sharp or wrong. If you're unsure, a quick green light from your doctor or physical therapist will help you choose moves that fit your body. Here's an easy routine you can try right now. Sit toward the front of the chair with your feet under your knees and stand up, then sit back down with control. Do it 8 to 10 times, resting as needed. That sit-to-stand move builds strong thighs and hips, which are your biggest glucose sponges. Next, face a wall. Place your hands on at chest height and bend your elbows to bring your chest toward the wall. Press back. Wall push-ups, 8 to 10 gentle reps. Wake up your chest, arms, and core without stressing your shoulders. For your back, loop a light band around a doorknob or hold the ends in your hands and pretend you're squeezing oranges behind your shoulder blades as you pull your elbows back. 8 to 12 slow rows help your posture and balance, which makes all movement easier. Finish with heel raises while holding the chair. Lift your heels, pause, lower slowly. 15 easy reps to pump your calves, which are also great sugar sponges. If you're feeling good, rest a minute and go through the circuit again. If you're new to this or had a tough day, once is plenty. The goal is to gently challenge your muscles, not exhaust them. When the last couple reps start to feel easy, that's your cue to add 1 or 2 more repetitions. Hold a light suitkin during the sit-to-stands, or loop a slightly stronger band for your rows. Small steps add up quickly. If you prefer everyday strength, count your chores. Carrying 2 grocery bags in the car, lifting a laundry basket from hip height to a shelf, kneeling on a garden pad, and standing back up. Those are all strength moves in disguise. Treat them with intention and steady breathing, and they absolutely count. If balance is a worry, keep one hand on the counter and practice a few slow hip hinges. Push your hips back like you're closing a drawer with your backside, then stand tall by squeezing your glutes. This pattern teaches your body to use the big muscles that support your back and protect your knees. If getting on and off the floor is tricky, stay upright. If hands are arthritic, skip the bands and focus on the wall push-ups and chair work. If neuropathy makes your feet sensitive, wear your most supportive shoes and choose moves where you feel stable. This is your routine. It should fit you like a favorite sweater. What surprises many people is how quickly strength work spills into the rest of life. A few weeks of chair stands and your legs feel steadier on the stairs. A couple of sets of wall push-ups and carrying a heavy pot doesn't feel like a chore. Sleep often improves because your body loves a signal that it worked a bit during the day. And because your muscles are more active, your body handles the same bowl of stew or piece of fruit with a smaller sugar rise. That's the quiet magic for A1C. There's another small rhythm that pairs beautifully with strength. Try not to sit for hours without a brief wake-up break. Every 45 to 60 minutes, stand up, roll your shoulders, reach your arms overhead, and do 5 slow heel raises. That's 1 minute, maybe less, and it nudges your metabolism without turning it into a workout. If you're watching TV, stand during commercials or between episodes. If you enjoy puzzles or reading, put a bookmark at a page where you'll pause and stretch. These tiny resets keep your muscles engaged and your cravings calmer because your body isn't stuck in energy conservation mode. Now take a breath and picture how these pieces layer together in a way that feels kind, not controlling. You're starting the day with a breakfast that lasts, so you're not white-knuckling it by mid-morning. You're sipping water, maybe with a squeeze of lemon, and letting minerals from real food keep your nerves and muscles happy. You're building your plate with vegetables and protein first, then enjoying your starches and sweets without the crash that used to follow. You're inviting your muscles to help with short stroll after meals, and you're giving your evenings a softer landing so sleep comes easier and stress doesn't boss you around. And now, with those gentle strength sessions, you've turned your body into a steadier home for your blood sugar. The cravings that used to shout start speaking in a whisper. That's not about perfection. It's about creating a day that supports you. If your A1C has felt stubborn, remember that it reflects many days added together. You don't need to overhaul your life to change that number. You just need more good days than not, and a plan that you can live with. Choose one habit to lean into this week, and let it be small enough to win. Maybe it's protein at breakfast. Maybe it's a 5-minute walk after dinner. Maybe it's that little chair and wall routine twice a week. When it feels natural, add the next layer. Progress after 60 is built on patience and consistency, not on willpower alone. Give yourself credit for every step. If a craving shows up, notice it, breathe through it, and ask, what would satisfy me and still be kind to my blood sugar? Sometimes the answer is a real treat, enjoyed slowly and without guilt. Sometimes it's a cup of tea, a handful of nuts, or a quick stretch on the patio. The more you practice, the easier it gets to hear what your body is really asking for. I'd love to hear what you're trying first. Tell me in the comments which habit you're starting with, or share a tip that's helped you tame your sweet tooth. Your ideas might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. If this was helpful, tap like and subscribe for more simple, senior-friendly ways to feel strong, steady, and in control of your health. You deserve days with even energy, clear choices, and treats that fit into a life you enjoy. Here's to steadier blood sugar, calmer cravings, and feeling a home in your body at any age.